Welcome in, hockey fans in the Desert Southwest. It's another Pitchfork Profile. I got a freshman with me, but I can't really call him a freshman anymore because Jack Judson, you've been starting on this team in the starting lineup, as a regular since day one. So, British Columbia native. Let's start off with right there. Tell me a little bit about growing up near Vancouver.
Obviously from Canada, just about 45 minutes outside of Vancouver. It's been great playing up there, and played junior in Vernon in the interior, which was also a great place to play. They really love their hockey up there, so I've just really enjoyed it so far.
Coach Powers tells me that you were a commit for a long time. What drew you to Arizona State University?
Yeah, I committed back when I was 16. It's one of the first offers I had, but I just really trusted what the coaches said and believed in the program. And obviously they weren't, ranked as high as we are now, but I knew we'd eventually get there, and I'm just really happy with my decision.
I always like to ask people when they come down here to play at Oceanside. A lot of people will say, this is like where I grew up playing hockey, things like that.
Yeah.
How does Oceanside fit your game?
You hear that a lot. Might not be as nice as some other teams' rinks, but, we play really well in it, and honestly, it's a good ice size for me. Like, I'm more of a small rink player, to be honest, be able to, read plays, and I really like playing in it.
So when you came in here, you were immediately paired with another freshman in Jacob Semick.
Yeah.
You guys seem to mesh right away, and you've gotten better as the season goes along. What's your relationship like on and off the ice with Jacob?
We're really close. We live together. We pretty much do everything together. The coaches actually call us the twins, so I think that chemistry really helps us out on the ice.
Last weekend, I thought may have been one of your best weekends for both of you. You both jumped into the play. You got a 2-on-1 rush, right, the two of you?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that one.
Yeah, that was awesome. You don't really see 2D leading the rush too much, but Coach Fields said to us before the weekend he wants us to get up in the play more and trust our legs, so that's what we did, and seemed to work out for us, so hopefully you can build off that.
So as a defenseman here at Arizona State University, you got two pretty good ones in front of you, Brinson Pashnuk and Josh Maniscalco. What have you learned from them since you've been here?
They're great leaders, great guys on and off the ice. A couple of guys you kind of want to model your game after. They're obviously very offensive, but they're also very reliable players for us. So I've been able to. It's nice to be under a couple of guys like that who've been through it and have that veteran presence, and they're really good role models.
The other thing for you is you're young, right? You came right in, didn't spend a whole lot of time growing up before you got here, and you got Demetrius Komentzis, who came in very, very young too. But has he taught you anything just from the fact that you're young with these guys?
Yeah, I mean he came in real early, true freshman, so kind of picked his brain a bit at the start of the year. But yeah, I mean there's a lot of great guys in the locker room, so it wasn't too hard to come in as a young guy and fit in with the group.
Speaking of fitting in with the group, you come in early in your freshman year, you get to take a trip to China, then you go to Alaska, then you go to the East Coast. You've been all over the place. Did you ever think you were going to travel this much as a freshman hockey player?
Honestly, I've thought about that a few times. It's pretty cool. Like, growing up, you don't really think about, like, all these places you're going to get to go, like East Coast and China, and just pretty much everywhere we've gone. It's like almost the first time I've been to every place, so it's been really cool to be all over.
A lot of people will say that at Arizona State that the hockey's not great in the Desert Southwest, but you've had a chance to be here now for almost a year, and you've had a chance to see the hockey here. How good is the hockey in the Desert Southwest?
I mean, you can see it's just growing at a very fast rate, and I don't think people give it enough credit that it deserves. And if you play here, you get to see the hype it deserves. And I mean, it's really growing down here. So I think as the program goes on, people respect it more.
When I look at the team, and I've done this for 5 years now, I've covered you since before you were a team, basically. And I look at it, I kind of pick out numbers, and I call it my magic number at the beginning of the year, and I say, this is what I think you guys need to do to accomplish the opportunity to get to an NCAA tournament for a number of reasons. First of all, you don't have a conference, so you got to earn your way in. Last year, the guys did it. This year, I set the bar a little higher. I said you guys need 24 wins based on the schedule. So you got 9 games to get that goal, 10 games to play. I know you guys want to think of it one at a time, but how important would it be to repeat to get back to that national tournament?
Oh, it's very important. I don't think we'd be satisfied with anything, at least getting to the tournament. If we want to do more than that too. We want to compete for national championships. So, as you said, being not in a conference, very important to win games that we should, and so it puts a little pressure on us. But I think we're up for the challenge.
And as I watch you guys developed all season long, I called something. I came up with a new hashtag this weekend. I said new gear, because what I found was you guys took a step last weekend and this weekend. This weekend had split written all over it until the third period, and then all of a sudden there was a new gear.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say about your team?
I mean, I think we're a very conditioned team. Leanne early pushed us off the ice, so I think when the third period comes around, we're not going to be as tired as some teams, and just shows how our group's kind of building now that we can go into the third period with a tie and then come out in pretty dominant fashion both the last two games. So.
Coach Powers told me at the beginning of the year, he said, this team's got a lot of potential, but they're about halfway there at the start of the season. And then about a month ago, I said, where are they at? He said, 75%.
Yeah.
In your mind, where's this team at as far as potential?
I mean, I don't want to put a percent on it, but I think I don't think we've played our best hockey yet. I still think we have room for improvement, which is actually a really good thing, because we've beaten some good teams and we haven't even gotten to our full potential. So that's a good sign for us going down the road.
Is it safe to say that you guys are starting to peak right now, and that you're hoping the NCAA tournament is where you guys get and peak?
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe to say, and it's a really important time in the season. It's crunch time now, and every game's really important, so we got to be going on all cylinders.
All right, we talked a lot about hockey, but let's talk a little bit about being a student athlete. What's it like? What's adjustment been for you coming into a campus with 50,000 people on it, and the weather here in Arizona? What's it been like?
It's a bit of a change from up north on the West Coast, but it's obviously beautiful here, and the campus probably one of the nicest in the country. So it was kind of an adjustment getting back into school, because I took a year off with junior and that gap year. So, but I had a pretty good first semester, so I'm kind of used to it now and in the swing of it.
Coach Powers strives on finding athletes that are student athletes, right?
Yeah.
He pushes the books real hard. Tell me a little bit about what that's like when you have to travel the way you have and compete the way you are at this level. What's it like to have to study too?
Yeah, he puts a lot of emphasis on being a good student in person, and I just with some of the other freshmen, we'll get together and just get our schoolwork done and try and get out of the way before a game, and just make sure we're not missing any assignments. But it's been going good so far when you have teammates that are going with it too. So.
Okay, let's wrap things up by talking a little bit about growing up and your style of play.
Okay.
Tell me sometimes about what you remember growing up in BC, and what got you interested in hockey, and what's your style? Who do you want to mimic your game after?
I think my style, I don't know, sometimes I'm a little feisty out there. Maybe seen it a few times this year. It's kind of hard being a freshman, you can't necessarily be that guy right away, but I consider myself a two-way guy and like to get up into the play, but I also pride myself on D a lot, so that's kind of how I've grown up playing.
As a kid, when do you remember putting on the skates for the first time, and what's one of your biggest memories as a kid growing up?
I think I was about 7 or 8 when I started, maybe like a year after most of my friends. I was a little shy at first, so it's kind of hard getting out there, but then I just grew to love it. And one of my biggest memories as a kid was probably winning the John Reed Memorial Tournament in Bantam. It's probably one of the most prestigious Bantam tournaments, so that's kind of my first really cool memory as a young kid.
You also played in a tournament in Bonneville, didn't you?
Yep.
Pretty big tournament.
Yeah, World Junior A.
Tell me a little bit about that one, and did you know at that point that 2 of your teammates were Bonneville natives?
I did know they were. Yeah, I did know they were on ASU. I didn't really know a lot about them yet, but yeah, you kind of, when you grow up, you don't really expect playing for like Team Canada or anything with the Maple Leafs. So that was just a huge honor to be able to represent my country in some way.
All right, Jack Judson, thanks a lot for the time. I can't call you a freshman much anymore because you're growing quickly, but congratulations so far on the success. Continue it on, and let's see you in the national tournament.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.